Hey everybody, Heather Campbell here for Ellen Hutson, and today I've got a video all about black ink. So I tell you, black ink is kind of like the black shoes or the little black dress of your stamping wardrobe. So when I was getting started, I had no idea why I needed all these different black inks and why I would use one over the other on my projects. So I thought it'd be fun to post a video here of the different types of inks and how I use them. So my first black ink I'm showing here is the Hero Arts Dye Ink. This is a black ink that is waterproof, and my favorite way to use this is actually either watercoloring or paper piecing. I do love that it dries very fast. I have good results with it. So the next one is the Ranger Archival Ink. Now this would be similar to the Hero Arts Dye Ink. It is also a dye ink. It is very black as well, and it works really well for sentiments. I have very, very good luck with this ink for sentiments. But again, I can paper piece with it just as easily, and watercolor as well. So the next is a Versafine. So the Versafine is a pigment ink, and why I like Versafine is that it captures the fine details very, very well. So I don't know if you can see it here, but it definitely, you can see the difference in the sentiments with the Versafine. So if you have a very detailed stamp, I like to use the Versafine. The last ink I'm going to show you here is the Avery Elle Pigment Ink. Now this is the New Moon color, which is black, and this is another one that works really well for capturing fine details. It's a very spongy pad, so it can absorb a lot of ink, and so I like to use my pigment inks with my Misty to get the best impression. Next, I'm going to show you the Dazon ink. So Dazon is a great ink for non-porous surfaces. And when I say non-porous, I really am talking about acetate, which is great for use on all of those shaker cards. Now you could also stamp on a lot of other surfaces with this ink, but like I said, this works for me terrific on acetate. So there you have that. This is a great ink to have in your arsenal, although I don't use it all that often, but it's a good one to have. So the last set of inks I'm going to show you are my inks that I use with my alcohol-based markers. And when I'm talking alcohol-based markers, I'm mostly referring to Copics, but I know there are lots of other markers out there that people use as well, and these inks would work well for them. And then the last ink I'm showing you there is the Avery Elle Dye Ink. And these, both of them work great for the markers. Like I said, the Avery Elle Dye Ink, it has a more spongy pad, so I find that it inks up really easily, and I can get consistent coverage with it. So there you have, you can see as I've colored it in how it has not bled. And then if I bring a Copic back to these that I originally shared, you're going to see how it bleeds when I run my Copic across. Now this Copic, you don't have to worry, that nib is already toast from my daughter and her friend that had a coloring play date in my craft room. But there you can see how it bleeds. And then if I just take that same marker, and this is the Memento, you can see how that doesn't bleed. So there you have my two favorite inks for coloring markers. All right, thank you so much for watching the video. I hope you found it helpful, and have a wonderful day. Bye.